All right, take two here on the Phaithful Phanatics show, guys. We're going to get through this quickly. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at DSM_media. On Twitter, hit that follow button. Check out the link tree in our bio. It'll take you to every social media platform that we're on, like I said before. But most importantly, do us a favor. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel specifically. It's the best and only spot to get your thoughts, comments, questions pulled up here on the screen with us. I'm one half your host, Dylan Davis. My co-host with a fresh new screen, a fresh new laptop, Scotty. You can find him on Twitter as well at Scotty Drowned. Phillies take 2 out of 3 at the bank against the Detroit Tigers. Pretty good team, Scotty. Pretty good matchup over the weekend. And then they absolutely maul and destroy the Baltimore Orioles last night in game 1 of this set. Kyle Schwarber hits 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. He's up to 40 bombs, 94 ribbies on the year. He's second on FanDuel, on wherever you shop at for betting wise, behind Shohei Ohtani in the NL MVP race. We're going to talk about Kyle Schwarber. We're going to talk about the Jhoan Duran experience so far in Philadelphia. He's been electric. The entrance has been electric. He's been lights out in 2 appearances so far. And then Eagles training camp notes. As you mentioned to me earlier, obviously Cooper DeJean comes in at number 60 on the NFL's top 100. Quinyon Mitchell comes in at number 49 on the NFL top 100
top
list.
50.
And and it got us thinking, man. Like, these 2 kids came in year 1, help us reach a Super Bowl, help us win a Super Bowl. Who, in terms of the younger guys, 25 and under, or regardless, steps up for the Eagles team this year? So we got a lot to discuss, my man. But happy Tuesday, and we're rolling now. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. We're rolling. It feels good. I think my connection. I don't think it was a connection issue. I think there's something up with my other MacBook, man. That is that MacBook might be retired because I just can't risk. I can't risk the stream going like that. It's very embarrassing. So I'm happy to be back. Happy the dog is settled down on your end a little bit there. That's what we were about to get into. But nonetheless, using the wife's laptop and the camera, I must say, is immaculate. This is one of the newer MacBooks, so we're seeing the benefits of that in this stream. I need to upgrade. That's the bottom line here. So let's get to work so I can get headed towards that upgrade, right? Let's get to work and get some money flowing in here. But no, I'm happy to be here, man. Philly's in a great spot. They got some great momentum right now. And I'm excited for this evening's matchup, quite honestly. I know it's Taijuan Walker on the mound. I think that's just more opportunity to prove yourself further, right? Just continue the hot play. Obviously, we got to stay in reality a little bit, but at the end of the day, let's see if this lineup can keep the fire going, keep those runs coming, and maybe Taijuan Walker doesn't matter as much. So
for sure,
I'm excited though, man. I'm excited. The new additions have made impacts so far, and it kind of brings us to where we are today, man. But obviously, we're getting closer to Eagles football season, so we're going to be digging into that more and more as we approach that season, which obviously I'm excited for. I do want to ask you one thing to start the show here. We don't have to spend any time on it. We're not going to talk about the Sixers today. But did you happen to see Embiid's Skechers commercial by chance?
The commercial? No, I've just seen the report from I didn't get sent tell. It's NBA Central, but I saw a tweet earlier that his knee is reportedly not in good shape, and
I did see that too.
To miss the beginning of the start of training camp and whatever. So a lot of different things have flown off the shelves rumor wise with Embiid. I saw Mike Missinelli with a clip yesterday saying that from who he's talked to, I believe it was Missinelli, that Embiid was quote shocked that the Sixers were interested in extending him when they offered him that extension a year ago, due to his knee and the health concerns. So. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that today. Today is positive, baby.
No, I wasn't going to bring that up. I was just bringing up the Skechers commercial where he was standing up straight and tall, and he looked great. He was smiling, selling some basketball sneakers. It gave me more hope, but those reports they sound pretty horrible. So I'm going to take everything with a grain of salt with that. We don't have to talk about it at all, but I'm going to take everything with a grain of salt. We'll see when he returns to the court what he looks like, and we'll go from there. At this point, I don't have a ton of optimism left with the Sixers. It's more about lowering expectations this year, So let's talk about the Phillies, man. They're playing some good baseball.
Before we get to the lineup, before we get to Schwarber and the just absolute tear that he's on right now.
Yeah, whatever's going on there.
We left off on Thursday immediately following the Jhoan Duran trade, the Harrison Bader trade, and what Dave Dombrowski did, trading it. Some people were obviously very excited. Some people were a little down because Harrison Bader wasn't enough. And I know you and I were very, very high on the Duran trade itself.
Yeah.
Do you think we undersold Jhoan Duran? And not even just from a performance standpoint, bro. Like, forget the fact that the dude has come in 2 separate times, shut the door. His first appearance through 4 pitches, 3 outs. He, broke Jose Alvarado's record in the Phillies uniform of speed. Jose set the record of 102.2 or something like that a year or 2 ago. He went on through like 6 straight pitches that were all over that. Not only has he been so electric, but just the energy that he has kind of inserted into this fan base, into the ballpark, into probably the clubhouse, because I'm pretty sure you saw the reports the day before the deadline as well, where Jim Salisbury reported that players have come out and said if they didn't make a splash, they were going to be disappointed. They didn't bring in a bigger name, they were going to be disappointed. And you see this dude, and I know everyone's having a lot of fun with the entrance and the music and the lights and the tarantula and all that different stuff, right? And it's crazy, but did we undersell Jhoan Duran, not just from an actual pitching perspective, but the energy that he's kind of given this ball club that was a 500 ball club for a long time over the last month and a half?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, and it's a great point to look back on specifically, because I think at the time everybody's so hyper focused on the bat, right? And you want to make the most of the deadline. So I think on deadline day or the day after, where you're still in that mode, you can get really caught up in the Harrison Bader acquisition and what that means and how it kind of imbalances the Duran move. But at the end of the day, we needed to examine Duran by itself and acknowledge that move as the deadline day move. Harrison Bader aside, whatever, he cranked one the other night. He could make more of an addition as time goes on, but Duran was always the key addition when you look back on that deadline. And I think we could have focused on that and honed in on that a little bit more. I think, like everything else, it just gets sidetracked by a little bit of negativity. And in reality, we should have just been celebrating the closer that we brought in and how that's going to solidify our rotation and everything that comes in these big moments in the playoffs. And then I think you throw in the entrance and the music and the mantra that comes with him. And I think that's when you start thinking about the rest of the clubhouse and how that excites everybody else in the clubhouse. Maybe it gets Kyle Schwarber. I think he's in a contract mode or something. I don't know what's going on there, but I think it does get guys excited. I think it gets them reinitiated into the season and like, oh, it's go time. We did make the big move that we were waiting for. Let's turn it on and let's show something. Let's work with some swag now.
Yeah.
Let's build it up. Let's get hype as we enter the postseason. We don't want to go in as a sleeper. Let's go in as a dominant force. And I think this can be the beginning of that. I think you got to keep it going, obviously, but they're definitely showing a little bit of a different type of energy, to your point.
There's got to be a belief that just comes with it, right? A confidence that comes with it when you have a guy like this that can come in and just shut the door, right? Because you played sports growing up. I played sports. A lot of people played sports, right?
Yeah.
Just because these guys are paid a lot of money, and even though the worst of the pros are still the best of the rest, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We can't kid ourselves when guys don't know there's a weakness on their team. If you had a kid on your basketball team, Scotty, that brought everything down, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to go out of you're not going to expose him. You're not going to talk negatively publicly about it. But that he's holding the team back, right?
Yeah.
When you got a guy, you look at the back end of that bullpen prior to the Duran move. If you're Bryce Harper, if you're Zach Wheeler and you throw 8 shutout innings and it's a 0-0 ball game or a 1-0 ball game, in the back of your mind, even though you're always going to have your teammates' backs, we're not good enough here. And now you have this guy who there's just an utter confidence in.
To your point, you can overexert yourself in a sense of, maybe guys are pressing too hard because they know that support's not coming in at the end of the game, right?
How many pitches did Christopher Sanchez throw the other night in 8 innings? 80 something. Him and Duran combined for under 100.
Yeah.
That is an opportunity. Christopher Sanchez could have gone out there and thrown a complete game. But between Rob Thompson, knowing what's lined up,
trust.
There's no need.
It's almost beyond trust at that point, right? Like now you're just bringing him in to give you some juice to close the game out. Like it's just, it's that level of energy that he injects. We'll see how it, marinates as time goes on and we get used to it. But I think it's only going to get crazier once you get to October and this guy's coming out of the
I know we're talking like energy and excitement and stuff, but just from an absolute like performance perspective, this dude's absurd. Absurd.
And the confidence that it takes. The confidence that it takes.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's crazy. The confidence that it takes to come out with the whole mantra like that, right? And have this whole display before you go out and maybe pitch an inning or two acts. You got to be working with some maximum confidence. And like you said, it just adds to the energy. It adds to the swag. I did want to go back to Martian's comment. I'm just I
don't know. Maybe I said something that like he took like, Duran was always I mean, the Twins were.
What do you think about this? Is that overextension?
No. He is one in it. When you first of all,
you don't want to ruin that.
Regardless, because that's a long reliever type, not even just a closer, but especially with a guy that pumps 103, bro. Like you get beyond 4 outs would be my max.
Yeah, you don't want to overwork him.
If you are in the top of the 8th at Citizens Bank Park in a 1-run game, and a reliever that has come in has bases loaded 2 outs, and he's warming up for the 9th. And you want to bring him in the 8th, get the out, and then pitch him in the 9th, that's the max. But I'm interested to see. I want to know why Martian, I don't know. Because I feel like that's kind of a negative comment about when it shouldn't be, if that makes sense.
You mean that he can't? Like, if he can't?
No. Yeah. Because he can't. It's coming off that Martian's, concerned if he can't, when I don't get that. Because you do, Strom's been very good this year. Kerkering's been very good this year.
Okay. Yeah, he clarified. I get that.
Martian.
He's dirty. Yeah. I feel it though, Martian. I feel it though, as a novice baseball fan myself.
Look, man, I don't know. That's going to be the key, right? That is going to be what the Phillies live and die by come October time. But it's the same thing I talk about with the Sixers, over the past 2 or 3 years, right? When it comes to them, because it's like, if you're just going to, not that you're being negative, what I'm saying, if you're just going to worry about, can they get past the second round? Well, then don't watch the regular season. And don't worry about the regular season if that's the case, because then nothing is going to matter to you. Will they hit? I hope so. I don't know. I can give you these numbers, and I have the numbers post All-Star break and since May 1st, Scotty. The Phillies offense, which was struggling to hit for power for the first half of the year. Since the All-Star break, home runs, they have hit 33 as a team. That's first in the MLB. They are 3rd in runs per game at 5.7, 4th in slugging, and 6th in OPS. The 33 home runs, like I said, is the most. The White Sox, Orioles, and Yankees are in second with 28 home runs. And then to get to the outfield, which is one of the points that you were talking about, one of the upgrades that we didn't necessarily make. And look, it's still the weak spot of the order, right?
Yeah.
And it's still the concern, especially when Topper continues to platoon, which I'll get to in a few moments. But since May 1st, so remember how people kept focusing on June 1st, Scotty, how they were a 500 team from June 1st to now? Since May 1st, practically the beginning of the year, just a month in.
Yeah.
Nick Castellanos is hitting 269 with 28 extra base hits. Brandon Marsh is hitting 299 with 18 extra base hits. Harrison Bader's hitting 256 with 21 extra base hits. And then, we have Max Kepler, who's hitting $177 and absolutely stinks. So we'll get to the negative in a few moments. But I think that's kind of always been my falling back point, man. They are the weaker spot. I just don't know that it's as bad as everyone wants it to be. I watched the clip. I'll throw it to you now. In 2023, we were playing the Marlins in the wild card round. We were hosting them before we went on to play the Braves, and then we lost to the Diamondbacks. You know who caught the first out in the bottom of the first or the top of the first as Zach Wheeler was pitching in left field?
Who was it?
Christian Pache. Christian Pache was starting in left field, and Johan Rojas and Brandon Marsh were platooning in center. And we, as a community, thought we were World Series favorites.
Fair.
And now somehow a 299 hitting Brandon Marsh and a Harrison Bader isn't close to getting it done.
Yeah.
So it is the weak spot. It's not as doom and gloom as everyone makes it out to seem. Especially when Harrison Bader lifts one to left field the way he did last night to blow that game open.
No, I do agree, man. And I think the other side of it as well is we have not seen Kyle Schwarber at this level that he's playing at, right? Like he's playing at beyond an MVP level. Like it's ridiculous. 40 home runs.
Anyone
leads the league in RBI. Yeah, exactly. Anyone, let alone.
Like we have Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper. That's what I'm saying. Bryce Harper is getting back. We say getting back to. He's hot right now. He's on fire, right? Yeah. And I think when you add an MVP level Kyle Schwarber to it, it's just a completely different animal. And I get it. The bats may be hot right now. Maybe the bats go cold for a week and then they get hot, like whatever, right? That it happens. And I think at the end of the day, you are playing with a little bit of luck. I think it comes down to the same way we look back with the Eagles, man. When you want to talk about playoffs expectations, did people say that Jalen Hurts could go out and win you a Super Bowl until he went out and did it? No, they did not. Even we sat here on the pod. We knew that it was possible, but we didn't stamp our names on the fact that Jalen Hurts was going to go out and beat Patrick Mahomes. So what does that tell you? It means the Eagles were not the favorite until they were the favorite. And that's the type of power that the Phillies are working with. They've been playing around with fire. And yes, it has gone downhill from each year. You could say that, right? As far as which level you're getting to each season. But all it takes is one time for the bats to get hot in October. And What does that mean? What does that mean if the bats are hot? Let alone just playing good baseball. If they're hot in October, what does that mean? It's a big if, of course.
And that closer.
I didn't even talk about the pitching staff, which is the strong point of the team this season.
Think about what Christopher Sanchez just did the other night, and no one cares. Not in a not that like, oh, we're just brushing off, but because of Duran, because the way Schwarber's playing, because the heater that Harper is on, we just kind of glossed over the fact that our number 2 or 3 starter, he went 8 again, no big deal. He went complete game shutout, no big deal. Like,
it's so funny because if you listen to like MLB Sunday Night Baseball, whatever on ESPN or I believe it's on ESPN, right? They do the Sunday Night Baseball. They sit there and they fawn over these Phillies players, man. Like these players that I see getting bashed by our fan base constantly. I turn on the broadcast nationally and they're hyping these guys up. They're talking about Sanchez hitting all the corners of the box and how he's been working on that the last couple off seasons. They're talking about Brandon Marsh and his hot streak. They're talking about Bryce Harper and what he's doing, Nick Castellanos and what he's able to do. I mean, I even heard them talking about Bryson Stott, man, and they were glazing this guy up. And it's not to say that we have to do that as a fan base. It is to say that I think we are a little harsh on the Phillies, particularly right here.
There are people out there that are saying Trey Turner's not having a good year. Trey Turner's having a fantastic year. Fantastic.
Yeah,
because he's not hitting enough home runs, he's not having a good year. But no, besides all that, you're 1000% correct. And before we move on, like just to give Kyle Schwarber one more ounce of credit, he's must-watch TV. Like we've had moments with Bryce before. We haven't seen anything like this, and obviously people have just been rolling with this since the last couple nights, and it's been all over Philly Sports Talk Radio today. But we genuinely haven't seen anything like this since what was it, 07, Ryan Howard, 06, whatever it was, the year that Howard hit for 50. What did he hit for that year?
I would have to go.
I forget, but that MVP year by like, it's constant, dude, and we talk about his swing all the time, but he's so short to the baseball. It's not like, you know how Bryce has that like angry looking swing. Like there's a lot of fun, like it's violence.
Yeah.
That's not Kyle Schwarber at all. It's short to the ball. It's compact. It's just dropping back that back elbow and that left elbow and that back leg, and it's just boom. Short.
It's very workmanlike.
500 mother effing feet, dude.
It's just a tank. Yeah, it is. It's very workmanlike. It looks very like low effort when he swings the bat, man. It is amazing to watch, and it's like kind of hovering towards one of these situations for me where kind of like Saquon going into the postseason last year. In the season he had 2,000 rushing yards and approaching the record.
Seeing what we get in the postseason from these
we
guys.
need the postseason to go with it to just like cap it off, because I don't want to have to think about Schwarber and the contract extension and the offseason, and that's what's going to immediately hit as soon as if the worst does happen. Right?
I know I'm putting you on the spot right now, so we can save this conversation for another time. But we sit here and we talk about Bryce, obviously, right? The franchise name, the guy that attracts everybody here, one of the greatest players of all time. We talk about the Zach Wheeler signing. In other sports, we talk about the Saquon Barkley signing. We talk about the A.J. Brown trade, right? These franchise-altering signings. Where's Kyle Schwarber rank on a list like that? Bro, he's had 1 year of under 40 home runs since he's been here in 2022, and I believe it was 38 home runs. He's hit, I could be off by one or two. Since he's been here, I believe he has hit 48 and 47 or 47 and 46, 38 last year, and he's at 40 on August 5th this year.
Yeah.
Where does that rank?
It's interesting.
Franchise-changing type of signings.
It's interesting, man. When you start to think back on it, and I think obviously the guys that he competes with are the Bryce Harpers, the Zach Wheelers, right? Those acquisitions, because those are the two other best acquisitions. And I think when I start to think about it, what is the difference between and it's not to say like Bryce has had his MVP season, he's had his seasons where we look back and we're gonna remember that shit forever. He's had his moments, but it makes you think like. Is it just that Kyle, is that more like workman type of attitude? Like he just puts his hard hat on and goes to work. He doesn't necessarily do like the Philly fanatic stuff. You could call it pandering.
But he's still very ingrained.
He is ingrained. I don't want to undersell it. I'm still gonna go with Bryce because I do. I think it's just like a culture thing. Sure. I think it's a culture thing that Bryce brought, but. Schwarbs is a former champion, right? Like,
no, and at the end of the day, Bryce Harper
brings the culture too.
All-time player. Like Bryce Harper's going to be here, and Kyle Schwarber's going to be down here.
But impact.
Yes.
When we look back, like when this is all said and done, whether it's 2, 3, 4 seasons from now or whatever, right?
All the guy does is impact winning.
I would put him. It depends how this season finishes, ultimately. If he goes on and wins MVP and we make it far in the playoffs or even win the World Series, maybe he moves up that chart, right? Like, I think that's what it depends on. But right now, I would probably put Bryce, then Wheeler, then Schwarbs.
No, I would. I'm just like, dude, that type of
he's up there, though, is the point.
That type of production, power-wise, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just 48, 47, 38 this year. He's on pace for 58. Does he reach 58? Does he reach 60? I don't know. He's going to hit in the low to mid 50s. Like I promise you, he's getting double-digit more home runs this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Finish with 50-plus dingers and 110-plus RBIs minimum.
He has 94 RBIs right now.
Yeah,
94.
Minimum. If he went cold, those are going to be the numbers.
Leads the league in RBI.
That's a great. I mean, Martian, it's a good point because that's like kind of what Bryce had. Bryce has more accolades, right? Bryce is the more flashy player in that sense. If he was to win one, like if he was to hit 55 home runs, 130 RBIs, and beat out Ohtani for NL MVP this year, I mean, it puts him on a completely different tier than a lot of people, and arguably with this dude. That's the other thing with Bryce, though, is like Bryce has gone cold in moments in the postseason, just like everyone else has.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the 2022 postseason that Bryce Harper
had. Yeah, that's honestly what I thought about. I had to like walk myself back. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves too in the moment. Like, because Bryce
like I know the Astros series from Game 3 and on, like everybody kind of went cold.
Yeah.
From the wild card to Game 4 of the World Series, Bryce Harper was hitting like 375.
Even before that first year in the postseason and getting to the World Series, like there's moments of Bryce at the ballpark, at Citizens Bank that they're ingrained in like my culture of it.
Does he have 2 MVPs with us or no? Or does he have an MVP and a Silver Slugger or something like that?
I think 1 MVP and 1 Silver Slugger.
You might be right. I just feel like I remember 2019 him having. I could be. Yeah. No. I don't know. I feel like 2019 and 2021 he had awards, but I could be wrong. But
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not one.
I agree. Those two are on a completely different level. So yeah, I was talking about this with a couple different people, man. Like, does he beat him? I'm going to say no. Like, even if he hits 50 plus, I'm still going to say no. They're going to give it to Ohtani. And I know, like, it was the Jokic and Embiid thing. And, like, I think voter fatigue is, like, stupid because it's, like, if he is the best player in the world, like, that, you know what I mean? Like, that's the most valuable. But, like, if not, I would put it this way. Shohei Ohtani is going to win a lot more MVPs over the next 10 years.
It's like,
not now, bro. Like, if this guy doesn't deserve to lose this year,
when is he ever?
Just rename the award the Shohei Ohtani Award, because for the next 15 years it's his. If Kyle Schwarber hits 55 plus home runs and 125 RBIs and hits like 260 something this year and doesn't win it, just rename the award because no one's ever going to beat him out.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And it's funny, man. I was actually looking it up because I just wanted to see Schwarb's like resume, I guess, in the postseason. Well, in the World Series, in the Cubs.
He's part of the Cubs.
The 2016, and apparently he came back from a serious knee injury that season to play a crucial role in the Cubs' victory, batting .412 in the World Series. Fucking dog. That's why. Yeah, that's what Kyle Schwarber's on.
That's when he just used to have that like thick patch of beard, like right here, nowhere else, just right here. That was younger Kyle.
Young Kyle, man. Oh man, no, dude, the fact that we're talking about him with Ohtani is crazy in itself. So it speaks for itself.
He's been phenomenal. Duran's been phenomenal. Sanchez, Wheeler, Bryce, this entire team's been phenomenal, dude. And they're playing very, very good baseball. They're 16 games over 500 right now as they head into this matchup against Baltimore. So we'll see. But we're going to talk about it right now, Martian, because we're going to get into Eagles talk before we wrap up here. The NFC East is imploding. If you're not on social medias,
dog agrees.
He agrees. He's riled up with us. Here's what I'll say about the two scenarios. I think Terry McLaurin stays a Washington Commander, and I think Micah Parsons is as good as gone from Jerry World. He didn't just make a post, bro. He said, I'm going. I no longer want to be here. And I saw Dan Orlovsky's tweet his clip the other day on Get Up, which was like, it appears different. Like when he was in contract disputes with Dak before they paid Dak, he never talked negatively about Dak. Same thing with CeeDee Lamb last year before they paid CeeDee Lamb. They didn't talk negatively about CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
He has fired shots at Micah Parsons not being healthy. Even if we do pay him, is he going to play because he missed games late? That's a crazy personal thing to do, to lose your best player. So I absolutely find it hilarious.
I love it.
And the Giants are the Giants, so we're going to have a lot of fun this year, man. But let's take a look at training camp. You said this to me earlier, so I'll throw the question back at you. Cooper Jean comes in at number 60 in the NFL's top 100 list this offseason, and Quinyon Mitchell ranks in the top 50. He's number 49. Two rookies that helped us come in immediately and go to a Super Bowl and capture our second ever Lombardi. It got you thinking. So tell me, which young player or player at all do you think steps up and rises to the occasion this year the same way that those two did last year?
Man, it's really interesting, and I think there's a couple different options. I think they're all on defense. Quite honestly, I think that's where we can lean on our youth. There's plenty of holes. Obviously, a guy like Jhoan Campbell that comes to mind, right? The rookie, but I don't know, man. As I was thinking through it more and more, and what the secondary needs, and it depends how the rest of training camp goes. It depends who ultimately does win the position battles,
Yeah.
but if things stay the same and Andrew Makuba ultimately gets the starting role, I think just by being in the starting position, the impact itself is going to be huge just within itself. The responsibility of being a starter. If he can be good or anything close to like not even a Cooper DeJean or a Quinyon Mitchell. That's asking a lot, quite honestly. But if you can be as good as like a Reed Blankenship from maybe 2 years ago, right, where we were unsure, he was just like kind of a guy that can fill the space, maybe give you a big play.
If you could be Marcus Epps from 2 years ago,
if you could be Marcus Epps, that's going to be a huge impact on this team, quite honestly. And I think he could be more than that, man. I think when we look back, I think he could be one of the steals of the draft. You get him in the second round, and I just think the prototype, like if you can mold him, get him starting this season, then we've got our safety, we've got our starting outside corner, our best corner, and then we've got our slot hybrid guy that we can just basically throw anywhere on the defense. That's the biggest
thing, man, because I saw today that Cooper got put. They are kind of putting him back there at safety, and
it's interesting.
Around, which you have to do to figure things out. Like I'm not mad that they're doing it, but it's just something I don't want to mess with. And I'm going to be honest.
I feel that.
In terms of going away from Makuba and the safety spot, just looking at the other corner spot across from Quinyon, right? I forgot that we signed Adoree Jackson this year, along with Uche and Azeez Ojulari as some of those veterans. And it was one of those guys. Who did we sign a couple years ago that I was kind of excited for? Was it Denzel Ward? No. Was it Denzel Ward?
Not Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward.
No. The other Cleveland. He was a former Cleveland corner.
Is it Greedy Williams?
No.
He wasn't actually. I don't think he actually ever played for us.
Damn. It's going to elude me, but we brought in a Cleveland corner either last year or 2 years ago into training camp, and I was kind of excited for the addition, and he didn't even make the roster. So that's kind of what I just kind of lumped Adoree Jackson up to, like, probably a guy we knew as a was Adoree Jackson a first-round corner a couple years ago from Tennessee?
First round? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he was first round, but he was definitely a star corner at a certain point when he was playing for Tennessee. Transitioned over to New York and
didn't work out.
Yeah.
So if that's a guy that can come in and fill a role on this defense, that's big. But I do agree with you. I think number one, you have to look at Jhoan Campbell, just from the fact that he's healthy and ready to go day one with pads and everything, and the reports that you're seeing that this dude just, if they were going after the quarterback, he would have gotten there X amount of times. And then the other one I'll throw to you, dude. Like I know we had Jalix Hunt last year make an appearance. We had a couple different guys. Moro Ajomo playing that Milton Williams type of role up the middle is something I'm looking at, because by every report, every single day, he's making an impact. He's in the backfield. He would have sacked Jalen Hurts. He would have gotten to and blown up the rushing attack, right? And you already have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis to clog up the middle. This is one of those rotational pieces that got Milton Williams $100 million deal with New England. If he can come in and just fill that kind of role for this team, that's going to be huge, because Campbell's going to be on the edge. Uche's off the edge. Azeez Ojulari's off the edge. Like, you already have a plethora of guys, and if they make the team, we'll see.
Yeah.
Want to fill that spot, right? That Josh Sweat spot. Who's going to be the defensive tackle that comes in the second with the second team kind of and make that impact? And it seems like it's him.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think that's a great kind of like a sleeper pick. I think he would be everybody's favorite sleeper right now, just because we know how they like to rotate their defensive linemen, and we know, especially in the middle of that defensive line, they love to rotate those guys. And I think, all that to say, we still have youth in Jalen Carter.
Yep.
He's 24, I think.
Jordan Davis is like 26.
He could get better. Nolan Smith is like 23. He can get better.
Nolan Smith's off the – dude, we have a ton
Nolan
of
Smith. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Nolan Smith at all, and he's another guy that could just jump out. It's funny, we were talking about Micah, and that was something that was popping up, man. Nolan Smith, would you trade him? Like if it was on the table?
Well, yes. I mean, I'm
not trading for Micah Parsons, man. We don't have to get into it, but I don't even want that in my locker room, quite honestly, bro. I don't
hate that. I don't hate that.
I don't think it would match.
I don't need.
Like, what's that look like with AJ Brown?
Saying,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With how much he puts out there, I don't know. It seems like it could be toxic. I do get it. We're talking about a generational talent here, and comparing Nolan Smith. It sounds crazy. You'd have to add in all these stipulations to not want to do that. Yeah. But no, I think when we look at the talent, especially youthful, which it kind of takes me to the other side. Like, there's not a lot of that going on. What do you think about Shipley and Dillon? Like, do you think Dillon is locked in as RB2?
No. I mean, I kind of want him to in a weird way. I mean, I have to see him in the uniform first. I have to see him in the preseason rotation. But have you heard Saquon talk about Will Shipley?
Not. I mean, I think I've heard it in passing, but nothing definitively.
Saquon, a couple weeks ago, I saw on a podcast called Will Shipley the smartest dude in the running back, the smartest dude in the offense on the running back rooms. He said it honestly pisses him off because he picks up on things that I don't even see. And he laughed about it. So having Saquon kind of, and I fuck with Will Shipley. Yeah. I'm just saying when we sign it, I do like the AJ Dillon signing.
Yeah.
Is Shipley going to have another role? You know what I mean? If AJ Dillon comes in and plays that Kenneth Gainwell role, Shipley's kind of back to where he was last year, special team guy, whatever. Or do you just kind of promote him now? But at the same time, then what was the point of the AJ? I mean, I guess it's just a flyer.
Cheap. And at the end of the day, with AJ Dillon, I feel like if you could just take maybe 5 of those tush-push touchdowns off Jalen Hurts' neck and shoulders, that's worth the contract in itself. 3 rushing touchdowns from AJ Dillon in the goal line setting, I think that's worth it alone. Will Shipley is your future. You can kind of get something prepared to fill that role for 2-3 years, I guess, down the line.
You're right.
You could be more of that receiving type of back.
Yeah, you can use Will in the passing game as well.
It depends. It depends how much are they going to run Saquon out there this year, man. I'm interested to see.
Probably a lot.
A lot. A lot. But how much is a lot? I don't know. I'm interested to see. I saw this, and it's funny how the reports come out of training camp, especially if you have the sleeper app, because you'll get them in the moment. And I think I got one today where it was Jalen Hurts within the first 10 minutes of practice had 3 passing touchdowns. And it's just he's just on fire. He's motivated out there. So I don't know, man. I'm just getting excited with each and every report that comes out. I'm getting excited as we get into the top 50 of these player rankings and see where our guys are really ranked in the top 50.
Oh, yeah. Did you see a clip of Nick and Jalen that came out of at the ring ceremony?
Yeah.
One at a time.
Yes, sir, man. It's funny, man. It's funny. I feel like we've chilled all off season on the Eagles, man, just because they are champions. We haven't had to stand on business too much this off season.
Before we wrap up, what do you think about the comments? I mean, I get it, and I do like it, but the Mailata comment to the press, I think Juergens has kind of talked about it, where Jordan and Mailata basically their mantra right now is we're not defending shit. We're not the defense. We're the champions of last year, and now everyone has to climb that mountain again. What do you think of that?
It's interesting.
I get the overall point.
I get the point, but I think it's just unrealistic because at the end of the day, teams each and every week are going to line up and say those are the defending champions. We want to go out and play our best against those guys. They might try to hammer it in as their reality, but it's not going to be reality. Reality is they are the defending champs. And I think at the same time, there's an argument. I don't care that much. At the end of the day, you just got to come out and win football games this year, get to the playoffs, give us another opportunity. But I think there is an argument or devil's advocate side to the things of saying there's a certain level of confidence that comes with defending your championship and defending your throne. And just having that confidence that I don't need to pretend that it's something it's not. We are defending a championship. we're gonna fucking win anyways. And I think there is a little bit of that could be there that I would love that, honestly. Like, take that villain role on. It's okay. We are the villains
because
fans.
It shouldn't be thought of as pressure. Like,
right.
We're defending this. It's not pressure. It's just a swag. Like, if they don't want to call themselves a defending champ, sure. I'm a defending champ. Like,
right. That's what I mean. Like, if they don't want to be villains, like, we're gonna be villains all season for sure. As fans, so just embrace it, man. I think that I get it. It's that like put your head down and like get to work. Like it is that mentality, but it's all right. We can flex a little bit, but we'll see how they celebrate in the games when they score touchdown. We'll see how they operate, man. I want to see them show out on the football field. Ultimately,
Thursday, we'll have.
I'm actually excited for it.
Yeah.
See the birds hit the field.
That is going to do it, guys. So if you are new to the channel, if you're watching on Twitter right now, we appreciate you. Make sure to hit that follow button. But most importantly, check out the link tree in our bio. Go to the YouTube channel specifically, and hit the subscribe button. Share it with your friends, family, any other Eagles, Philly sports fans in general that you may know that could enjoy the content. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. For myself, for Scotty, for DSM, have a great rest of your night. Go Birds and go Phils.
Peace, everybody. Go fighting.